What we want to do though, start off with, boys, is really just touch on the climb and reflecting and going through what the peak means to you and answering a couple of those things which we'll go through in a minute. And really the symbolism for this, like this is an amazing thing that I'm proud of as well. Is it the hardest thing in the world? Well, no, it's relative to what it means to you. It's incredible to see the energy and the passion in you to move yourself from point A to point B. That's what I love about using primal power to define what life means to us with things that may not be tangible, the intangibles. It's very powerful. Like I said yesterday, regardless of what depth of wavelengths and frequencies you think you're at in your journey or understanding or knowledge, the understanding at a higher level comes from the actions you take in your life. Perfect example, man. I could have read off a fucking million mindset and motivational pieces and all these amazing things. None of that would compare to what you've done today. And all of you. And that's not downplaying myself. I back myself in everything when it comes to connecting and getting in between your ears to help you move forward in your life, but that is why we have this environment here. This is another way. This is another layer. These are layers. Layers in your life with your chapter. Drew said it best, you know, don't compare your chapter 2 with someone's 22. It's like, what does that even mean? Like, you are the author of your own book. Like, this is your story. So we're going through this, fellas, a symbolism for me, through the symbolism of what you've done, reinforces that I'm on the right track. Like, that gives me a fucking stiffy. Of course I'm going to go out after this and market hard and push hard and go, I want more Waynes, I want more Michaels, more Chris's. We've got enough Chris's and Bens. More other people. Sorry. No homers, we're allowed one. So, but yeah, it's very powerful, you know, and this is what I spoke about yesterday. Like, I love that we can switch gears. Like, I'm all for a laugh as well, but there is some energy and intent here. And I love it. Like, I'm soaking this up. I don't feel intimidated or uncomfortable at all. You're all amazing people and you're all part of my family. So we're looking at the peak. We'll go through this, fellas. There's a couple of questions like, what did you enjoy most about the climb? It could be your journey. It could be seeing someone else's journey and what that meant to you. It could be anything. It could be multiple things. I know there's not a huge amount of room there, but go through this and just fill in, what did you enjoy most about the climb? And what are your biggest revelations and takeaways sitting at the top? Rick had a fucked back. And I say had because that's past tense. This is your time, man. Everything I talk about, this is science, epigenetics, the consciousness of your cells and what comes at the control center of not just your head, your heart. Because what you think your brain is when you're looking in the mirror is just a reflection of the perception of your eyes. You don't know where your brain and heart is. It's what you're using in a visual with your senses. We all have unknowns in our life. Like I said last night, the difference between an unknown and uncertainty is the level of action that you take. And the level of action you take comes down to the level of ownership that you decide to have. Choice. Life is choice. These are the seeds that we sow. Do our children come with seeds to sow? Of course not. They are the seeds. They're our seed. The end. We're sowing them. What soil are we planting them in? What fertilizer are we using? What nourishment are we doing? What watering? What sunshine are we providing? What shade are we providing? What level of protection to combat the birds, the fucking bees and everything? Well, bees are good, but everything else. You know, like this is an important thing to recognise. Because our children are a byproduct of us as well. To a degree, but we don't own them. We hold responsibility over them and they're a beautiful blessing in our life. So when we see something especially like that, that's a perfect example, man, because these are things that can be embedded at a very young age. I've known you for a long time, Mike, you know. Your wife and my wife are very close friends. I mean, you're all friends, you're part of the same group as Krim. You can see, you'd know, there are friends that you probably don't hang out with much or at all. Are the group people that I know as well. Yeah. And there are others that, you know what, I will make time for them. You see, at that young age, when we were going through high school together, the compounding effect of that personality trait that never got quite course corrected or nothing didn't get nourished to help them grow and expand, that's the exact fucking thing that led to these issues now in life that you can see that children already have at 4, 5, 6, 8 years of age. Like I said last night, I shared some vulnerabilities, you know, like being that overweight fat boy with no confidence and lacking what I perceive to be power, strength, muscle, performance, the opposite sex. led to me wanting to have a great body, not just for me to go, hey, I've got this power, but for me to be desirable by the opposite sex. I've been with Corinne since I was 17. It's a pretty fucked up pattern. She's now my wife. I have to work hard on that, very hard. And we have a primal element to all of us. I understand that in procreation, all that sort of shit, and we've got hormones, but that is something that we look at and we establish, that's the seed that's become a fucking root that we need to really dig out now. Because it's a big tree that I actually don't want in my garden. Anything that sedates and distracts you above and beyond what your priorities are for expanding in life will exactly hold you back from what you believe the priorities are, or could be, to expand in life. You'll never win. That's why I'm not against alcohol and I'm not against television, but they're things that hold a very, very limited capacity in my life. And that's my choice, it's on me. It's very, like, these are some very simple, I'm just taking some little points here, but team achievement, being involved, pushing and encouraging each other, commitment, being capable, seeing others and sharing that with others, conquering the day, family, setting an example, engagement. These are amazing things. And it's funny you mentioned about the story with, I can't afford it, or my wife said no. They're the two roadblocks that Dad I'm on the phone who creates for himself. They're not roadblocks for me. My life keeps moving forward. So when we look at that and we start to explore that, what that becomes is a level of resistance where the universe is putting up a roadblock that they're creating themselves. Anyone can be resourceful enough to find money if they need to. Money, being invested in this is a test, I'm committed, and it's a commitment to evolving RDM. I mean, it gives us the opportunity to then reinvest back into you. This is what we do. We're a family here. Right? You're not downloading a fucking course and reading something. So we look at those two things, they ultimately come down to you being your biggest roadblock, which obviously that doesn't hold true because you're all here, but this is the common theme that we see, and yes mate, I understand, I see that.